So, today's topic is of course Ries. And as I'm sure you are all aware, we will be talking about the clear and light, right? But more importantly, we're going to be focusing on this concept that I have here called from routine to ritual, right? Because this sounds kind of like, well, what do you mean? But it is actually very significant. It's actually one of the promises of Ries. And it's a promise that it fulfills because it has CBDG essential oils, right? But before I get into that, allow me to introduce myself. So, as you probably can tell, I am half Japanese and half American. Some people think that I'm full Japanese, but I'm actually half. I was born in Japan, and I grew up there. And when I graduated high school, I moved to the United States, to Utah. And that is when I met doTERRA. And I started working there as a call center agent, part-time. And again, 10 years later, here I am. I never would have dreamt it. I didn't think it was possible. And it wasn't even within something I was considering, but here I am. I love doTERRA. And I know you all do too. But let me get a little bit more personal, right? Here I have a picture of my Google Maps profile, right? Well, you're gonna tell from my presentation today that I really love food. I love to eat, I love to eat out, and I love to cook, right? These are kind of my passions. You know, if I didn't have a wife, I'd probably be really fat right now. But my wife keeps me healthy. So something that I noticed when I was making this presentation is that I'm a little bit embarrassed by it, but it is a hobby of mine. That I've written 504 reviews and made 504 contributions on Google Maps, right? And I've uploaded 232 photos, and through this I've garnered 1.8 million views, right? And I think you can tell, well, this guy obviously loves food. I really do. Yes, and it's actually one of the reasons why I love Taiwan. You have such beautiful food. It's delicious. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know what I'm eating about 90% of the time, but it's delicious and I love it. So, as a food lover, right, something that kind of really stands out to me is that food has a special power. And the special power is that it can take something that you are familiar with, something that you've already eaten, something that you do every day, and make it a special occasion, right? Depending on the season, depending on who's preparing it, it can change, and it does change. And when you go to a restaurant, the chef creates a unique experience for you, right? This is, again, an example of changing something that's mundane, something that can just be habitual, a routine, into something more significant, something that becomes memorable, something that leaves a core memory within you and can become a bonding experience, right? That experience changes the meaning and it's a framing. And that is one of the promises of Ries, right? We're changing something that you just do, something that's just habitual, something that you do because you're supposed to, and makes it significant, makes it a little bit different, makes it unique, gives you an opportunity to make a memory. That's what's really beautiful, and that's what's possible with Ries. It is transforming that. A routine is something that you just do because you're supposed to, like brushing your teeth. Do you get excited from, about brushing your teeth? Or maybe washing your hair? Is that something that excites you? Not really, yeah. It doesn't excite me. Maybe it excites some of you. Maybe you have something that you do that's a little special, but for me, it's just something that I've been doing for a long time now. And that can be the same with skincare. But it doesn't have to be that way because of the Ries ritual. It can be special. Now, Ries has a 5-step ritual system. It starts with number 1, the cleanse. You guys are all probably already familiar with this, right? You all use Ries, right? Yes, I believe that you do. You start with the cleansing oil, and then you move on to the wash, the face wash. And then from there, you move to the hydration, the lotion. Now, something that may not be entirely obvious to you is that this is all kind of really preparing your skin, right? It's preparing for what is coming, which is the dual serum. That's the nourishment. That is what we're doing here, is we're preparing the skin, we're exfoliating, we're removing all the layers so that your skin is premium and ready to receive the dual serum. And then finally, you protect. Use the face cream. That is the end, right? You seal it all in, and you protect what you just did. And that is the 5-step ritual. And that is possible because we have this aroma layering experience. We have essential oils. Essential oils is really just the foundation of Ries and what makes it really special. But it's not it's not essential oils alone. Because if I'm going to be honest, Ries isn't the only skincare with essential oils. But Ries is the only skincare that has CPTG essential oils, and it has an aroma layering experience. That is truly unique. And that's something that we can do because we're doTERRA, right? We are doTERRA, and essential oils is our specialty. It's what we do. It's what we know. At the base, we have these woody aromas, these kind of heavy notes, frankincense and copaiba. And then in the middle, we have the kind of more floral, the geranium, the neroli, the rose. And at the top, we have the light, the lycia, the lime, the bergamot, pendigrain, and buntan. Buntan is something that I really love. Y'all love buntan? You know buntan? It's a Japanese grapefruit. It's something that we actually really enjoy in Japan. Yeah. In fact, we just actually released at our leadership retreat buntan honey and buntan fossil. And it was a big seller. Oh, I didn't notice this. But again, this is a layering experience. You're making your own blend. And that's what Ries is about. And here today, I'm introducing one more line of Ries, which is the clear and light, the green line. But let me ask you, how many of you have already used the clear and light?
Yes.
Right? NFR, any of you? Okay. That's amazing. Wow. Some of you already have. Well, the rest of you have an opportunity coming up. But clear and light is truly special because it adds another personal touch to Ries. Right? It allows you to have another angle to it. And it's actually really quite remarkable. And let me tell you about why. A lot of people ask me when I talk about Ries, Kacey, you have 2 lines in Ries. Which is the best? Which should I use? This is a question I get asked all the time. And frankly, wrong answer, wrong question. It's the wrong thing to ask. It's not which is better. So, what is the right question to ask? The right question is when, who, and which season. It's the occasion that matters, right? That is what determines which you are supposed to use. It's not which is better. Right, that's a question that we like to ask as people, right? Who's the strongest superhero? But frankly, these are just different tools, and there's a different occasion. There's a different purpose that they satisfy because they do different things. Now, because they're different doesn't mean that they're outside of the toolbox. They're the same tool. They're different tools in the same toolbox. They are both still Ries. They're in the Ries world, right? They still can fit within the 5-step care system. They both have CPTG essential oils, and they also have humic shell minerals, plant-derived minerals. Again, also, they do fit within this concept that we have, the natural origin focus. Sustainability is still a core concept of Ikise. It's just that smooth and rich is just that. It makes your skin smooth and it has a rich texture. The clear and light makes your skin clear and it is light. It has a lighter feel. But what does that mean? Well, it means that you can use this three-part framework, right? You can consider, one, the person. What experience do they prefer? Do they like something light or do they like something rich? People have preferences, right? Some people are vegetarian. Some people just really love to eat salads. Some people love to eat meat. Some people only eat meat, right? It's just down to personal taste. But personal taste can also be shaped by the occasion, right? So what is the moment that you're in? Are you in the morning or are you at the night? Typically, you don't eat steak in the morning, right? You eat steak at night. You also don't necessarily use hot water to wake yourself up in the morning. You use cold water. And at night, maybe you'll take a hot bath, right? These are different preferences shaped by different occasions, and the same can be true with Ikise. There's also a seasonal factor to it as well. Seasons change, and so do our tastes, and so do our palates, and so does our skin, frankly. So these can also shape the needs, and depending on when and who or what you're using, you can choose the smooth or the clear and light. Now let me show you some data here. This is Japan's data, and it will really make this point really clear to you. Because some of you are like, okay, well, smooth and rich still has frankincense, so obviously frankincense is king. Smooth and rich wins. Well, it's not exactly clear. Here we go. Now this is, if you take a look at this, there's clearly a seasonal factor to it. Right? If you look, smooth and rich wins in the colder months of Japan. This is illustrating seasonality, right? And the percentage of buyers. But then as you approach summer, especially May, June, July, and August, you notice something. Clear and light wins, right? Now, have any of you been to Japan in summer? Not many. Well, some of you have. Well, let me tell you, it's so hot. It's really, really hot. It's so humid. I'm sure it's also humid here, but it is really humid. And this shows that people's preferences do change. Clear and light is something that they seek after when it is hot and humid. And then as it gets drier and drier and drier, people want smooth and rich. Interesting, right? You can just show that there is a place for both of them. So, let me then kind of do this little full circle. Who's clear and light for? It's for those who want a lighter touch, right? When you want a lighter feel on your skin, something that's a little bit more refreshing, then perhaps clear and light is for you. It also is for those who just really like something that's more fresh and rejuvenating. People that are a little bit more inclined to lighter tones. People that maybe perhaps prefer something that will help them wake up in the morning. And then perhaps clear and light is for you. And there's, again, a seasonal aspect to it, just like I illustrated earlier. Are you using it perhaps in the summer or the winter? That can shape it too. Finally, is the promise that the clear and light has. Do you want a clear and bright impression? That's something that you're looking for with your skincare. If so, then maybe clear and light is for you. So this is really just the beauty again. There is many, many factors that you can play with here. Ikise is very versatile, and it can be very personal. Well, let me dive into each one of these a little bit more deeply. First, we have the lotion. The lotion, obviously, just as every lotion does, hydrates, right? It provides daily hydration, balances, refreshes, and prepares the skin. But what's really important about it is, again, if you notice, it is a step before the dual serum. It helps you with exfoliation. It helps the skin absorb for what's coming next. That is really kind of what is important here. You can't just use the dual serum. You need to use the lotion before. Finally, it sets the mood. It is very refreshing when you use. It's like a splash of water to the face. And if you're using this in the morning, this can be very, very, very enticing. Now here's a hero, the dual serum, right? This is really kind of what is king for Ries. This is really what the whole skincare line is leading up to and ultimately finishes with, because this is what we're looking for. The dual serum, frankly, is remarkable. It's very impressionable because it has 2 layers to it. It's emulsifier free. And something that I want to share with you that I frankly love about my job is I am the marketing director in Japan, and I get to hear a lot of success stories, a lot of stories from people that are using Ries. It's something that's really remarkable about the dual serum, that it can again add to that ritual aspect. Now, the story I heard is that this mother, she's a leader. She was able to incorporate her daughter into her skincare routine through the dual serum. As she's going through steps 1 and 2 and 3, she hands the dual serum to her daughter. And her daughter shakes it for her and prepares it for her and hands it back. And she said that this was something that really touched her because it was something that she used to do alone. Now she can actually have her daughter participate in the ritual. It's something that she now remembers and looks back on fondly. And I think that is actually really cool. That is something that, again, we were able to change something that was just kind of routine and make significant and make a core memory. Now the dual serum here is all just about nutrients, right? It's intense moisture. And that is what is remarkable about it. Now the power of the set. So I want to bring this kind of together for you. We talked about the lotion a little bit. We talked about the dual serum. But I also want to touch on the day and night mask, the day and night cream, because that is kind of the end here. And I wish I kind of added a slide here with a picture of it, but I believe that you know what I'm talking about, right? This is really kind of the 3-step system that you need to follow. If there's really any products in Ries that you use, it is these 3. You use the lotion, you use the dual serum, and you use the day and night cream. And I want to illustrate this with something that frankly, again, I just told you, I love food. So we're going to tie it to food. Now imagine that you're on a date, okay? You go out on a date, and then boom, you get the appetizer. The appetizer is a warm soup. Why do you get a warm soup? Well, one is to prepare your palate. But the other is that a soup is significant because it's warm, and it warms your stomach, and it prepares it to digest for what's to come, the main course. And that's the serum. You deepen the experience. It's rich, it's flavorful, it's a little heavy, but you were prepared for it because you got the appetizer, you got the soup, your body is ready for it, and it's delicious. It's full of nutrition. It's something that you've been looking for, and it's finally here. And you eat it, and you're satisfied, but you still have this craving. It's not done. You don't want to just step away after eating a heavy steak, right? You need something that, again, kind of sits on top of it all. And that's the dessert. You get the dessert. You close the meal. You have the day and night cream. It protects your skin. And that is the end of the course. But there's something missing here. You remember, you're on a date. Now who goes home right after you just finish a meal and say, all right, goodbye? Heartbreak. That's sad. Right? No, you need something. You can't just leave a blank canvas. Right? You can't just be empty. It's just like, wait. We just shared that moment together. I thought this is going to be a memory. I thought, maybe you're thinking about me. Maybe you think I'm special. And that's where the sheet mask comes in. It's that special moment. Your date hands you a rose and tells you that you're important and that they've been thinking about you. It's that treat. You're pampering yourself. You're treating yourself because you deserve it. That's the sheet mask. How many of you have already used the sheet mask? Some of you. Well, if you've ever used it, then you'll know this. It's remarkable. It's really, 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 how should I say, rich. It's not something that you really necessarily need to use every day, but if you have the money, you can. But it's a treat, right? It's something that you kind of end your weekend on. It transforms kind of this care into a premium experience. It delivers this bounce and firm feeling to your skin. And finally, it achieves a transparent and radiant look and impression. So, I prepared this little simple diagram to help you kind of understand, because it's just kind of a sheet of paper, but it's more than that, right? The face mask actually has 3 layers. Right? You have that outer layer that's made of ultra fine fibers. It feels like silk. If you touch the face mask, it's kind of almost like a little slippery. And then in the middle here, right, you have this inner layer that's highly absorbent and is filled with plant-derived fibers. And that is why it's able to retain so much moisture. And again, because we want to make this a good premium experience, it's very easy to open too. This is one touch sheet. You just peel it open, you can apply it immediately. You don't need to go finding. Ultimately, it's like, hey, how do I open this? And it's very much an Kacey product. It contains humic shell minerals. It contains CBTG essential oils. Right? It is actually also fulfills the promise of sustainability. It achieves a 99% ISO natural origin index with a formulation that is highly sustainable. It also uses Japanese fermentation technology. It uses this camellia flower extract for enhanced benefits. And finally, has this high adhesion layered sheet. I've actually tried using it myself. What's funny is, I have a beard, so it doesn't necessarily stick here, but it does stick up here. But it is a high adhesion, right? And it uses this FSC certified material, which means, again, it is sustainable. So, I want to wrap this all up. I wanted to highlight, again, these key points here. Kacey is highly adjustable. It can be fit for each person. It just depends on what the person wants, right? Are they using Kacey in the morning? Are they using it at night? Is it summer? Is it winter? I believe that then, finally, they do have a personal preference to all this, right? And that can be shaped by it. So, when you're using Kacey, remember that. It's not necessarily, okay, well, what's better? What's the best? It's what am I looking for? And what do I need? And what can Kacey deliver to me? That's the questions that you should be asking. And that's why Clear and Light has a place in Kacey. Okay, so everybody, I have a surprise for you. You like surprises? Yeah. No, not yet. No. That's too easy. Right, let's build up to it. You love Kacey? Yeah. Hey, say it with me. Kacey, 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 Kacey. 1, 2, 3. paper. Did you find it? Well, hold on to it. Hold on to it. Don't let it go. When you have that purple, it means you won something and you won the gift. And let me give you a hint. It might be the sheet mask. Maybe. Hold on to it. You can exchange it. You can exchange it for the gift. It will be given to you. Hey. Thank you, everybody. More information will be coming next. Thank you.